Chapter 1. I thought I was losing my mind. Waking up to the same alarm tone, my sister yelling for her missing shoe, and my mom calling me sleepy snail for the third time on the same morning was not exactly comforting. Still, I tried to act normal. I brushed my teeth like a sane person, ate my cereal like a sane person, walked to school like a sane person. But I was very much not a sane person because this was my third time living February 14th. And the weirdest part? Each time, I told Liam I liked him. The first time was a train wreck of nerves. The second time, I decided not to confess just to see what would happen. Spoiler, still woke up in the same looped SO this time. I figured, why not go full chaos? I showed up at the rooftop 10 minutes earlier than usual. Liam was already there, cross-legged and sketching something in his notebook like always. I took a deep breath and marched over. He looked up, surprised. "Hey, Elena. You're left-handed," I blurted. He blinked. Yeah. And your favorite snack is sour worms. And you wear mismatched socks every Thursday. And your laugh sounds like a snort when you're trying not to laugh too loud." His brows furrowed. "Okay, are you stalking me?" "No. I mean, kind of? Not really. I've lived this day 3 times already, and every time I confess that I like you and, you what?" He cut in, staring at me like I'd grown 2 heads. "I like you," I repeated, flustered. "I really like you. Like, I've had a crush on you since last year when you helped me pick up my spilled art supplies and told me glue smelled like betrayal." Liam gawked. "Okay, wait." I waited. He stood up slowly. "Are you messing with me? Because this is going to sound absolutely bonkers, but I've lived this day before too." My breath caught. "You remember?" "Yeah." He scratched the back of his neck, eyes wide. "This is my 3rd loop too." I thought I was the only one losing it. We stared at each other for a long second. Then we both said, at the exact same time, "Oh no." Chapter 2. So, now that we were both equally freaked out, we sat down and tried to process the fact that we were stuck in some kind of messed up time loop. I mean, how else do you explain waking up to the same day over and over again? I swear, if this is a prank, I'm going to punch you in the arm, I told Liam. Though I was half joking, Liam shook his head, his expression serious. "No joke. I'm starting to think we're the only ones who remember the resets." I glanced around the rooftop, half expecting to see some hidden camera crew pop out from behind a bush. But no, there was no crew, no trickery. Just me, Liam, and my overwhelming urge to hyperventilate. "So, what do we do?" I asked. Liam tapped his fingers on his sketchbook, deep in thought. "Maybe we test it. Like, do the same thing every time and see if it changes." "That's the worst idea ever," I said, squinting at him. "We can't just repeat the same thing over and over again." "Why not?" "It's not like we have much else to do," he pointed out. I scowled. "Okay, fine. So, confession number 3 again." "What now?" He gave me a sheepish look. "Well, I didn't exactly tell you this part before, but, I kinda noticed you weren't acting like you were in a normal loop." I tilted my head. "What are you talking about?" "Well, each time I've gone through this, you acted like everything was new. You didn't act like you'd already lived through this day." I stared at him, narrowing my eyes. "Wait a minute. You're saying you've been stuck too, but you're not freaking out?" He shrugged. "Not anymore. It just felt normal." "You know?" I blinked. "No, it doesn't feel normal. I'm losing my mind." He chuckled. "Maybe it's a test. Something to make us notice things we wouldn't usually pay attention to." "What? Like how much you talk with your hands?" I raised an eyebrow. "Exactly." He grinned. "I'm saying we should be careful. Maybe each loop brings us closer to figuring it out. So we're just going to observe each other, then?" "Yep. Watch me, watch you. Pay attention to every little thing." I sighed. "Fine. But I'm going to warn you right now, Liam. If I have to confess again, I'm going to lose my mind." He smiled, a glimmer of mischief in his eyes. "Hey, at least you'll have me here with you for company." I rolled my eyes. Lucky me. We spent the rest of the day together, and it was a strange mix of awkward, funny, and surreal. We tested a bunch of theories. What if we kissed? Answer: nope, still looped. What if we didn't talk at all? Still looped. What if we simply ignored the loop and went about our day like it was a normal day? Spoiler, still looped. The more we tried, the more it became clear that the loop wasn't going to be broken by any of our actions. But there was one thing we both agreed on. We had to figure out how to break it, or at least understand it, and if nothing else, we'd have each other to complain to. Chapter 3. I woke up again. Same alarm. Same room. Same dread creeping in at the edges of my mind. February 14th. Again, and there he was, Liam, sitting on the rooftop with his sketchbook. His dark hair was messy, and his fingers were tapping rhythmically against the pages, the same way they had been every time. He didn't even look surprised to see me anymore. If anything, he looked resigned. Morning, he said, not even flinching when I dropped my bag onto the ground. Morning, I muttered, collapsing onto the bench beside him. For a while, we sat in silence, just watching the sky brighten and the usual bustle of the school unfold below. Nothing was different, except for the fact that I was completely losing my mind, and so was he. So, we've tried everything, right? I asked, breaking the silence. Confession. No confession. Kissing. Running away. You've probably already figured this out, but none of it works. He sighed and closed his sketchbook, giving me his full attention. I've noticed. I keep hoping that if I keep it simple, it'll just end. But it doesn't. We both stared at our shoes, and for a moment, I felt a wave of frustration hit me hard. I don't get it, I muttered. Why are we the only ones who remember? Liam looked at me seriously. Maybe we're supposed to learn something. Maybe we've got some unfinished business. I looked at him, really looked at him for the first time that day. The thought of being stuck like this with him wasn't entirely unpleasant, though it was terrifying. What if we were never going to leave this loop? What if we just lived this day forever? I had to say something. I think I know what it is. I blurted out. It's us. It's me. I keep confessing to you over and over again. Maybe that's the point. He tilted his head, watching me. What are you saying, exactly? I think this loop keeps happening because I need to tell you what I've been keeping inside, I said quietly, feeling the weight of the words. I don't know why, but it feels like I have to say it. I like you, Liam. I really do. And every time I say it, something's different, but not enough to make it end. Liam stared at me, his lips parted like he wanted to say something, but couldn't quite find the words. I could feel my heart race, as though the confession was slipping out of my control, despite having said it 100 times already. And then, he did something unexpected. Okay, he said, as though he'd just made up his mind. We've both been stuck in this loop for a reason. Maybe it's not just about breaking it. Maybe it's about facing whatever it is we're too afraid to admit. Admit what? I whispered, my heart pounding now. That we're both terrified of what happens next, he replied, his voice soft but steady. Of saying what we actually feel. You're scared of me rejecting you. I'm scared of losing you when the loop ends. I couldn't breathe. He had me pinned in the most beautiful, terrifying way. You're scared, I said, almost laughing. You're Liam, the cool, too calm for his own good guy. I didn't think you were capable of being scared. He smiled faintly. You'd be surprised. A heavy silence fell between us, and for the first time that day, the weight of the loop seemed to lift. What if we just stopped trying so hard to break it? Liam suggested, his eyes not leaving mine. What if we just let it happen and see where it takes us? I wanted to say something, but all I could do was nod. This time, when I looked at him, I didn't feel like I was waiting for the loop to break. I felt like I was waiting for something else entirely. Something real. Chapter 4. I woke up to the familiar sound of my alarm blaring in my ear. Same day. Same February 14th. Same everything. But this time, something was different. I wasn't afraid. I wasn't panicking. I wasn't trying to fix anything or break the cycle. Instead, I rolled out of bed, stretched, and made my way to school with a new sense of calm. It wasn't that I'd accepted being stuck in this loop. It was just that I had no idea how to get out. So why not enjoy it while it lasted? After all, I had Liam with me. And maybe, just maybe, there was more to this day than just repeating the same confession over and over. When I got to the rooftop, there he was, sketchbook in hand, just like every time. He didn't even look up when I arrived, but I noticed his lips twitching like he was trying not to smile. "Morning," I said, settling next to him. "Morning," he replied, his voice light and easy. "How's the loop treating you today?" I laughed. "Better, I guess. I'm not freaking out about it anymore." Liam raised an eyebrow. "Yeah? What changed?" I shrugged, leaning back against the cool stone of the rooftop wall. "I think it's the fact that we've been here a few times now. It's like the first few loops were all about trying to escape, but now I'm just trying to live it out, you know." He nodded slowly, then turned toward me with a mischievous glint in his eyes. "So, no more confessing today?" I stared at him for a long moment, trying to gauge his tone. Was he teasing me? Or was he being serious? "You're right," I said, a playful smile tugging at my lips. "I don't think I need to confess anymore." His smile widened. "Really?" "Yeah," I said, standing up and brushing off my jeans. "I think you already know how I feel, Liam." He stared at me, as if searching my face for any hint of hesitation. But I didn't give him one. Not this time. This time, I felt like I was finally being honest with myself. Not because I had to, but because I wanted to. Liam set his sketchbook aside, standing up to face me. There was something different about the way he looked at me today. Maybe it was the fact that we weren't stuck in a loop anymore. Maybe it was because we were finally seeing each other for who we really were. "Then why don't we do this differently?" he said softly. I blinked. "Do it differently?" He reached out, gently taking my hand in his. It was warm, and it felt like the most natural thing in the world. "Why don't we just enjoy the day? No loops, no confessions. Just you and me, seeing where it goes." I felt my heart skip a beat. "You're serious?" "As serious as I've ever been," he said, smiling that half-shy smile that always made my stomach flip. And for the first time in what felt like forever, I realized that maybe the loop wasn't about breaking it. Maybe it was about learning to live in the moment, to embrace what was right in front of me. I nodded, squeezing his hand. "Okay, let's do it." And so, we spent the day together. No expectations, no confessions. Just two people caught in a strange twist of fate, trying to make the best of it. We talked. We laughed. We shared stories. And as the sun began to set, I realized that maybe, just maybe, I wasn't stuck in a loop at all. Maybe I was exactly where I needed to be. Chapter 5, I woke up again. Same room, same messy bed, same alarm blaring in my ear. February 14th, again. But this time, when I sat up, something felt off. The room was quiet. Too quiet. I stared at the ceiling for a moment, waiting for the usual rush of panic to hit me, waiting to realize I was trapped in the same cycle. But there was nothing. It was just a normal morning. I jumped out of bed and rushed to the window. I had to check. Sure enough, I could see the familiar bustle of students walking to school, the usual morning chaos unfolding below. But this time, there was something else, something I hadn't noticed before. It was peaceful. No loop. No reset. For the first time in what felt like forever, it seemed like I had actually moved on. I quickly got dressed, barely able to contain my excitement, and rushed downstairs. My heart was pounding as I grabbed my bag and bolted out the door. When I got to school, everything felt normal again. I met Liam at the rooftop just like I always did. The familiar sound of his sketchbook flipping open echoed in my ears as I approached him. "Hey," I said, trying to hide the nervousness creeping into my voice. Liam looked up at me, his face softening when he saw me. "Hey," he replied, and then his eyes narrowed in confusion. "Wait, you're not?" "Nope," I interrupted, grinning ear to ear. "I'm not stuck. At least, I don't think I am." Liam stood up, his eyebrows furrowed. "What do you mean, you're not stuck?" I let out a breath I didn't realize I was holding. I woke up this morning and everything was normal. No loops. No resets. I think we're free." Liam's face lit up like a Christmas tree. "You're serious?" I nodded, laughing. "I'm serious." We both stood there for a few seconds, just soaking in the weird, wonderful feeling of not being trapped in the loop. It felt like a weight had been lifted from both our shoulders. But then, something dawned on me. I hadn't confessed. Not in this loop. Not like I always had. I hadn't needed to. Liam seemed to sense my hesitation. So, he started, his voice hesitant. If we're not stuck in the loop anymore, does that mean you're not going to confess again? I paused, trying to read his face. Was he disappointed? Relieved? Then, without thinking, I said the first thing that came to mind. I don't need to confess anymore, Liam. His eyes softened, and for the first time since we'd been stuck in this crazy loop, I saw the vulnerability in his gaze. I know, he said quietly. I think I knew that all along. We both smiled, the weight of the past few days finally lifting from us. We didn't need the loop to understand each other anymore. We didn't need the confession, because, in the end, the most important thing was that we were here, together, and somehow, that felt like the best kind of freedom. Chapter 6. I thought waking up without the loop would feel like a victory. After all, I'd spent what felt like an eternity caught in the cycle, confessing over and over again, watching the same day play out in an endless loop. But now, standing here in the quiet aftermath, I realized that freedom wasn't as straightforward as I'd hoped. Liam and I walked through the school day together, normal, boring, peaceful. There was no strange déjà vu hanging over us, no nagging sense that we were repeating the same moment for the 100th time. But there was something else, something I hadn't anticipated, a heavy silence between us. We didn't need to confess anymore, but we hadn't really talked about what came next. Lunchtime came, and we sat together in our usual spot on the school grounds, just outside the library. A small crowd of students milled around nearby, but it was just the two of us at our table. So, I said, poking at my salad with a fork. Now that we're not stuck in the loop anymore, what are we supposed to do? Liam glanced at me, his eyes thoughtful. I don't know. I mean, I thought this would feel like, I don't know, a bigger deal. But it's almost like nothing's changed. We're just back to normal. I sighed. Yeah, but that's just it. The loop was kind of a weird excuse to be around each other all the time, right? Now that we're free from it, we don't have any reason to hang out. Liam's eyes met mine, and for the first time since we'd gotten out of the loop, I saw a flicker of something more than the usual teasing, more than the casual friendship we'd always had. Are you saying you don't want to hang out anymore? He asked. The question lingering in the air between us. I froze. The question caught me off guard. It wasn't what I'd expected. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized something I hadn't fully accepted until now. The loop had made everything so confusing, but it also had brought us closer. It had created a weird kind of connection between us, one that went beyond the cycles, beyond the confessions. I didn't mean it like that, I said quickly, putting my fork down. This is all a little weird. I mean, I thought we were going to go back to our old routine, but it's like I don't know what to do now that the loop's over. Liam smiled, a little chuckle escaping him. I get it. It's like we've been living in a weird time capsule, and now everything's just open. And I have no idea what to do with it either. I nodded. Exactly. It's like we spent so much time in that cycle, and now I'm supposed to just pick up the pieces and figure out what comes next. Liam leaned back in his chair, rubbing his chin thoughtfully. Well, I think we've earned a little time to figure it out, right? Yeah, I guess so, I said, the tension in my shoulders finally beginning to ease. But maybe we don't need to rush into anything. Agreed. Liam grinned, his usual playfulness returning. And hey, at least now we have a little less pressure. No loop. No confessions. We can just take it easy. For the first time since we'd broken free from the loop, I felt a sense of peace. There was no rushing, no need to push anything forward. We could just exist. Together, and maybe in time, we'd figure out what this was. What we were, but for now, I was content with the quiet. The kind of quiet that came after a storm, where everything finally settled into place. Chapter 7. The days after the loop ended were nothing like I'd imagined. They weren't full of grand gestures or dramatic confessions. There were no more time loops to break, no more resets. There was just life, and that life was surprisingly simple. Liam and I had fallen into an easy rhythm. We spent time together after school, grabbing coffee, talking about anything and everything. I started to realize that, without the pressure of the loop hanging over us, things felt right. I didn't need to confess. I didn't need to worry about how to break the cycle. I could just be with him. I wasn't sure how to explain it, but every time we laughed, every time our hands brushed or our eyes met, I felt that pull between us, the same one I'd felt when I'd confessed to him in the loop. But this time, there was no fear, no uncertainty. It was just us, figuring things out together. But even though things were moving forward, I couldn't shake the feeling that there was something left unsaid. It was a Friday afternoon, the week winding down, when I decided to finally voice what had been on my mind. Liam and I were sitting on the edge of the school's fountain, watching the last of the students file out of the building. The sun was setting, casting a warm orange glow across the campus. So, Liam, I started, feeling a little hesitant. Do you ever think about the loop? Like, the fact that we were stuck in it for so long. Liam was quiet for a moment, his eyes distant as he stared at the water. Yeah, I think about it sometimes. It's hard not to. I mean, it was our loop, you know? Like, there's no way I'll ever forget it. I nodded, watching the ripples in the fountain's water. Same here, but I guess. I'm wondering if it was just the loop that made things happen between us. I mean, I confessed so many times. But was it because we were stuck in a loop? Or is this really something more? Liam turned to face me, his gaze soft and steady. I think it was more, he said simply. The loop might have brought us together, but it's what we did once we were together that counts. His words hit me in a way I hadn't expected. He was right. The loop was just the beginning. What mattered was what came after. I met his eyes, feeling a warmth spread through my chest. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad we're here. He smiled, the corners of his lips curling up in that familiar, mischievous way. Me too. I think we've got a lot of time ahead of us, figuring out the rest of this, right? I laughed softly. Right. No loops. No confessions. Just us. Liam nudged my shoulder playfully. Sounds perfect. And for the first time, I truly believed it. Chapter 8 things were easier now that we weren't trapped in the loop. Every day felt like a fresh start, a new chance to get things right. The anxiety I'd once felt when I woke up, knowing I was stuck in the same cycle, had faded away. I could now walk through my day without dreading the moment when it would all reset, but there was still something about the loop that lingered. The memories, the feelings, the weight of the confessions I'd made. It had all happened so quickly. One minute, I was nervously blurting out my feelings, unsure whether Liam would ever feel the same way. And the next, we were breaking free from the loop, having no idea what came next. But now, I realized something important. I didn't need the loop to validate how I felt. I didn't need it to give me the courage to tell him how much he meant to me. It was like I'd spent all that time running in circles, trying to find the right way to say it. But in the end, it was simple. I loved him. That thought filled me with a kind of peace I hadn't expected. There were no more loops to worry about. No more resets. We were here, in the present, where everything was real. And for once, I was ready to let go of the past. The next day, after school, Liam and I sat under the big oak tree in the park where we often hung out. I'd noticed he had a sketchbook with him, the same one he'd had during the loops. But today, he didn't immediately start drawing. Instead, he turned to me, his eyes serious, but with that familiar warmth. You know, there's something I've been thinking about, he began, his voice slowed. I raised an eyebrow. What's that? He hesitated for a moment before answering. When we were stuck in the loop, I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't know if I should say something or if I should just let you do all the talking. But now that we're free, I realize I don't need the loop to tell me what I already know. My heart skipped a beat. I knew where this was going. I don't need to confess again, either, he said softly, because I already know how I feel about you. I smiled, feeling a rush of relief wash over me. It was like the final puzzle piece had clicked into place. No more loops. No more confessions. Just us. I'm glad you feel that way, I whispered, my hand finding his. Because I don't think I need to confess either. I think we've both already said everything that matters. Liam's fingers curled around mine, and we sat there for a moment, the world around us fading away. No more pressure. No more expectations. Just the quiet comfort of being with him, and for the first time in a long time, I realized that we were no longer stuck. We had moved past the loops, past the confessions. We had arrived at something real. Chapter 9. It had been a few weeks since the loop had ended, and everything felt, well, normal. For the first time in ages, I wasn't waking up with that familiar dread, wondering if today would repeat itself. I wasn't obsessing over the moments I might have missed, or the confession I'd never had the chance to fully deliver. Liam and I were just two people navigating the everyday chaos of school, our friendship slowly but surely evolving into something more. We hung out after class, grabbed lunch together, and talked about everything and nothing. It was simple. It was comfortable. And most importantly, it felt real. But even with all the peace I had now, a tiny voice in the back of my mind wondered if this was really the end of the story. Was there something else out there waiting for us? Some other obstacle to overcome? Or had we truly broken free? I sat in the library, scrolling absent-mindedly through my phone while Liam read a novel beside me. He was always absorbed in his books, a habit I envied. It felt like he could disappear into another world so easily, while I was still working through the fragments of my past, the lingering echoes of the loop. So, I was thinking, I said, tapping my fingers nervously on the desk. Liam glanced up, a slight smile tugging at his lips. You thinking? That's dangerous territory. I rolled my eyes, but a smile tugged at the corner of my mouth. No, seriously. What do you think happens next? I mean, we were stuck in that loop for so long. Do you think it's over? Or is there more to this? Liam closed his book, marking the page with a dog-eared corner. More, he repeated, sounding thoughtful. I don't know. I think the loop was just a part of it, but maybe it was about us figuring out how we really felt, you know? Yeah, but what if there's more? What if the loop isn't the last weird thing to happen to us? I asked, suddenly nervous about the idea of something else, something unexpected. I don't know. I guess I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop. Liam chuckled, the sound light and warm. I think you're overthinking it. He leaned back in his chair, looking at me with those easy eyes of his. Maybe we're not meant to know what comes next. Maybe we're just supposed to be in the moment. His words gave me pause. I'd been so focused on figuring out what the loop had meant for us, what it had all led to, that I'd forgotten to just let things happen. What if you're right? I whispered, a smile tugging at my lips. Liam shrugged, his grin crooked. Who knows? Maybe the next chapter is just waiting for us to write it. I liked the sound of that. The idea of leaving the future unwritten, leaving the pages open for whatever would come next, felt like the right kind of freedom. I leaned back in my chair and let the moment stretch out. No more loops. No more resets. No more uncertainty. Just us, living in the here and now, taking everything one step at a time. IT wasn't perfect, but it was real, and for the first time in a long time, I felt like I was exactly where I needed to be. Chapter 10. Things were quieter now. The world didn't feel like it was spinning on some kind of chaotic loop anymore. The daily rhythm of life had returned, a steady beat I could finally keep up with. Every day was a fresh page, unwritten, waiting to be filled. Liam and I still hung out a lot, and I found myself looking forward to those moments. The time we spent together didn't need any big gestures or dramatic confessions. It was comfortable, easy. We had our usual spots, by the fountain, under the oak tree, at the corner coffee shop where the barista knew our orders by heart, but there were still things I hadn't said. For a while now, I'd been holding onto the words that had once been so difficult to confess. The loop had given me plenty of chances to speak up, but now that we weren't trapped in it anymore, I realized I didn't need to repeat the past. I just needed to be honest with him. The problem was, I wasn't sure how to do that without overthinking it. How do you tell someone that everything feels different now? How do you explain that despite all the chaos, despite all the strange circumstances that brought us together, the truth was simple: I care about you. A-L-O-T. It wasn't until the next Saturday, when we were walking through the park, that I finally found the courage to say it. The sun was setting, casting a soft golden glow over the paths. It was one of those quiet moments. No one else was around, just the sounds of birds singing and the rustling of leaves. Liam kicked a pebble out of his path, his hands in his pockets. You know, for a while there, I thought we were going to be stuck in that loop forever. I smiled softly. Yeah, me too. He looked at me, his expression half serious, half playful. But we're not, are we? No, I said, shaking my head, my heart suddenly beating a little faster. We're not. He glanced at me sideways, a slight frown on his face. What's going on then? You've been quiet all afternoon. I took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the words in my chest. I've been thinking about how everything changed when we were stuck in that loop. How I felt about you, how you felt about me. And now I realize it wasn't just the loop that made it all happen. Liam stopped walking and turned to face me fully, his eyes steady, searching mine for something. What do you mean? I hesitated, feeling this sudden rush of emotions. I care about you, Liam, more than I ever thought I would. And it's not because we were stuck in some weird time loop. It's because I like you. A lot. I braced myself for the awkward silence that always seemed to follow moments like this. The kind of silence that made you question everything you'd just said, but instead, Liam smiled. It was soft, slow, but it felt real. I know, he said simply, his voice warm. I like you too. I blinked, stunned for a second, unsure whether he was serious or just teasing. But when I looked at his face, I saw something in his eyes. Something genuine. I've liked you for a while, actually, he continued. It was hard to say it while we were stuck in the loop, you know? A laugh bubbled up from my chest, and I couldn't stop it. Yeah, I guess that would have been a little complicated. Liam chuckled, his hand reaching out to gently nudge my shoulder. But now it's not complicated, is it? No, I whispered, my heart swelling with relief. It's not complicated at all. And in that moment, standing in the fading sunlight, I knew everything was exactly as it should be. The loops were over. The confessions had been made. There was no more uncertainty, no more running in circles. We were here in the present. And that was enough. Chapter 11, the next few days felt different. It wasn't just the change in the air or the fact that the loops were behind us, it was something more. Something about how easily Liam and I fell into the rhythm of everyday life. It was like we were finally free to just be us. We were no longer chasing after time or trapped in a cycle of repetition. We were walking forward together, side by side, one step at a time, with no resets to worry about. No more waiting for some grand moment to change everything. This was real. This was our time. It felt like there was this unspoken understanding between us now. We didn't need to say everything out loud. Our actions spoke louder than words ever could. Whether it was a look, a touch, or a quiet moment of laughter, it was clear that we had both found something worth holding onto. One afternoon, we were at our favorite coffee shop, sitting at our usual booth by the window. I was sipping on my latte, watching the rain pour down outside, while Liam flipped through a comic book. It was cozy, quiet, comforting. The kind of afternoon you never wanted to end. You know, I've been thinking about something, I said, breaking the silence between us. Liam glanced up, arching an eyebrow. Thinking? That's rare. I rolled my eyes, but couldn't help smiling. Very funny. But seriously, I've been wondering what comes next. Liam set his comic book down, his gaze soft but curious. What do you mean? Like, now that we're not stuck in the loop anymore. I trailed off, trying to put my thoughts into words. What do we do now? We're not just stuck in this moment anymore. We have a future. And I guess I'm wondering what that looks like. He was quiet for a second, his eyes thoughtful. And then, with a small smile, he shrugged. I guess the future is whatever we make of it. I leaned back in my seat, processing his words. You're right. We get to decide. Liam's gaze softened as he reached across the table, his fingers brushing against mine. I don't think we need to rush to figure it all out. We've got time. But as long as we're in this together, I think that's enough for now. The simplicity of his words settled over me like a warm blanket. It didn't have to be complicated. It didn't have to be rushed. We had time to figure things out, to grow together, to build something real. Yeah, I said softly, my fingers curling around his. That's enough for now. The future was wide open, a blank canvas waiting to be filled with new memories, new experiences, new moments we would share. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't set in stone. But for the first time in a long time, I felt like we were on the right path, and as the rain tapped against the window and the world moved around us, I realized that this was the beginning of something beautiful, something real. Chapter 12. The days blended together like the soft hues of a sunset, each one a little different, but somehow they all felt like part of the same story. With the loop behind us, Liam and I settled into a new kind of routine. It was simple, yet perfect. We spent time together after school, grabbing coffee, sitting in the park, or just walking aimlessly through the streets of town. It didn't matter where we were, as long as we were together. There was a certain peace in knowing that the future wasn't something we needed to force into existence. It would come, and when it did, we would face it together. But I still couldn't shake the feeling that we had both learned something important during the loops. I had learned about myself, about how I really felt, about my fears and my desires. And Liam? He had learned about the things he wanted too. We both knew that we were in this for the long haul. I was thinking, Liam said one afternoon as we walked through the park, the sound of birds overhead filling the air. What if we made a list? A list? I asked, raising an eyebrow. Yeah, a list of things we want to do. Together. Now that we don't have to worry about time repeating itself. I grinned, feeling a spark of excitement. Like a bucket list? Exactly, he said, his eyes lighting up. But not just things we want to do before we die. Things we want to experience together. In the here and now. That was the moment when I realized that this was it. This was our chance to live, really live, and not worry about what was coming next. We had the freedom to make memories without the pressure of the loop hanging over us. We could write our own story, one day at a time. I love that idea, I said, my voice filled with excitement. Liam smiled, the corners of his eyes crinkling with warmth. Good, because I think our story's just beginning. And I agreed. We spent the rest of the afternoon creating our list, writing down everything from learn how to surf to take a road trip to the beach. It wasn't about the items on the list. It was about the promise we were making to each other, that we would experience life together without any fear of it repeating itself. As we sat on a bench, our list between us, I looked at Liam, my heart swelling with a quiet, contented joy. He wasn't just my crush anymore. He was my partner, my friend, my person, and as I looked ahead at the future, I realized that the possibilities were endless. The loop had shown us what we were capable of, what we could feel, and now it was time to embrace what was next. The road ahead would be ours to walk, and I couldn't wait to take the first step. Epilogue. The beginning of forever years had passed since the loops, but the memories were still as vivid as the day we broke free. Liam and I had built a life together, filled with laughter, adventure, and a love that was deep and unwavering. We had checked off nearly every item on our list, surfing in California, driving cross-country with nothing but a map and a playlist of our favorite songs, even getting lost in the mountains and pretending it was the best thing that had ever happened to us. It wasn't always easy, but it was always worth it. And on one quiet evening, as we sat together in our little apartment, looking out at the city lights that stretched out before us, I realized something. We had written our own story, one that wasn't dictated by time loops or confessions we didn't understand. We had taken the pieces of our past and built something real, something unbreakable. Liam turned to me, a playful grin tugging at his lips. So, what's next on the list? I smiled, my heart full of warmth. There's still a lot left to do, but for now, I think we're exactly where we need to be. He raised an eyebrow, teasing, but I could see the sincerity in his eyes, and I knew he understood. In a world full of uncertainty, we had found each other. And that was more than enough.